In this lecture, we are going to study about transport of mass, that is self-diffusion. The phenomena of self-diffusion is due to the transport of mass from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration to bring about an equilibrium. As you can see in this figure, this is the region of higher concentration, and here we can see that the molecules now have spread up, and this is the region of lower concentration. The diffusion of gases can also be understood from this figure, where before diffusion the molecules here are dense in this position, and all the molecules here now are in the rarefied form. So suppose we are trying to mix two gases, gas 1 and gas 2. As we can see in this figure, here the number of molecules is very high, the density is high, and therefore the molecules are moving towards the gas 1 where the density is low. So in this way there will be movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration to bring about an equilibrium. So what is this diffusion then? It is the spontaneous intermixing of one gas of molecules with another at a given temperature and pressure. So we can say that this is nothing but the intermixing of molecules. So this is the spontaneous intermixing of molecules. Now it is because of the random motion of molecules of the gas from the area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration. Now these gas molecules, where does this diffusion occurs? The diffusion occurs in liquids and gases, but it hardly occurs in solids. This diffusion happens more quickly for gases than for liquids. It also happens more quickly at warm temperatures than at the colder temperatures. Let us see some of the examples of the diffusion. The first example we can see is of the smell of perfumes or any other smell. This smell diffuses very quickly in the atmosphere, and it is detected by people on the other side also. In the same way, oxygen, which is inhaled air, it diffuses through the lungs and into the bloodstream. The oxygen is then transported throughout the body. So this is how we can see how the phenomena of diffusion takes place because of the transport of mass, that is the molecular mass. Next we will find out the expression for the coefficient of diffusion. To find the expression for coefficient of diffusion, we will consider this figure. In this figure we can see here, these are the layers of the gases. We are considering one of the layer AB, which is parallel to the axis OX. Let us take N as the number of molecules of this layer AB, and we will consider two more layers EF and CD, which are at a distance of lambda from the layer AB, and this distance lambda is nothing but the mean free path. So let us take the concentration gradient, that is the change in concentration with distance, as equal to dN by dz. So this is the concentration gradient, dN by dz, and we are taking N as the concentration of the layer AB. So the distance between the layers AB, EF and CD is taken as lambda, which is the mean free path. Then we can write the concentration of this layer, which is at a distance of lambda from the layer AB, that is the concentration of the layer EF, as equal to N plus lambda dN by dz. In the same way, we can write the concentration of the layer CD, which is below AB, as equal to N minus lambda dN by dz. So this is the way we can write the concentrations of the layer EF and CD. We can see that the layer EF will be more concentrated than the layer CD. Now we can find what is the amount of molecules which are moving from the layer EF towards the layer CD in the downward direction, crossing the layer AB per unit area per second. So this concentration can be written as This is the number of molecules which are moving from the layer EF towards the layer CD and through this layer AB, and this will be given as equal to 1 by 6 into C into n plus lambda dn by dz. In the same way, we can find the number of molecules which are moving from CD, the layer CD, towards the layer EF in the upward direction through this layer AB. So this can also be written as equal to 1 by 6 into C into n minus lambda dn by dz. Now we can find what is the total number of molecules, the net number of molecules which are crossing per unit area per second of this layer AB in the downward direction. So we will have to subtract these two equations to find the net number of molecules crossing per unit area per second in the downward direction through the layer AB. This will be equal to 1 by 6 into C into n plus lambda dn by dz minus 1 by 6 into C into n minus lambda dn by dz. When you subtract these two equations, taking out the common terms, we find that this 1 by 6 C is common, n and n gets cancelled, and we will have 2 lambda dn by dz. So therefore, this will be equal to 1 by 6, this 2 and 3 gets 6 gets cancelled with 3, and we have 1 by 3 C into lambda into dn by dz. So this is the amount of number of molecules crossing per unit area per second of the layer AB in the downward direction. Now let us see what is the definition of this coefficient of viscosity, the coefficient of diffusion. Here we are seeing diffusion, so we will write it as diffusion, written as capital D. This is defined as the ratio of number of molecules crossing per unit area per second divided by the rate of change of concentration with distance. So the ratio of number of molecules crossing per unit area per second is this term which we have found out, divided by the concentration change, that is rate of concentration difference, is dn by dz. So we can write this as equal to 1 by 3 C into lambda dn by dz divided by dn by dz, and this comes out to be equal to 1 by 3 C lambda. So thus the coefficient of viscosity, the coefficient of diffusion is given as D is equal to 1 by 3 C into lambda. This is the expression for the coefficient of diffusion. Next we will find out the effect of temperature and pressure on the coefficient of diffusion. We have the formula for mean free path lambda as equal to kT upon root 2 into pi sigma square p, and we have the formula for C, that is the average velocity, as 8 kT upon pi m, and therefore this D can be written as equal to 1 by 3, it was C into lambda. So we can write this lambda first, that is kT divided by root 2 pi sigma square p multiplied by, this is root 8 kT upon pi m. When you solve this, this root 8 will be 2 root 2, root 2 gets cancelled, and we have 2 here, so this becomes 2 by 3, and this is 1 upon, this k can be taken inside, and we get this as sigma square p, then we have root m, and the quantities which will be kT upon pi whole raised to power 3 by 2. Now from this we can see that this is temperature, absolute temperature to the power 3 by 2, and here pressure is in the denominator. So we can write that d is directly proportional to T raised to power 3 by 2 and d is inversely proportional to the pressure. So thus it shows that the coefficient of self diffusion is directly proportional to T raised to power 3 by 2 and it is inversely proportional to the pressure. We can find the relationship between this d and eta, that is the coefficient of viscosity. Earlier we have seen that eta, that is the coefficient of viscosity, is given by 1 by 3 rho into c into lambda, and we have seen d as equal to 1 by 3 c into lambda. So we have 1 by 3 c lambda and this is 1 by 3 c lambda. When you put up the values, we get d as equal to eta divided by rho. Now this expression does not agree well with the experimental values of a gas, therefore a corrected formula is given. So the corrected formula is d is equal to constant f dash into eta divided by rho, where this constant f dash has a numerical value which is approximately equal to 1.4. So in this way we can find the relationship between eta and d. Now we'll move on to solve some of the numericals on this topic. In this question we have the diameter of nitrogen as equal to 3.2, that is sigma is equal to 3.2 into 10 raised to power minus 10 meter, and the number of molecules at 0 degree Celsius and 1 atmospheric pressure is 2.69 into 10 raised to power 25 per meter cube. So it is n here. The value of n is equal to 2.69 into 10 raised to power 25 per meter cube. We are asked to find the mean free path for the nitrogen molecules, that is lambda is to be calculated. Now we know that lambda is given by lambda is equal to 1 upon root 2 pi into sigma square into n. We can put up the values here, and after substituting the values, this will be 1 upon, this is root 2 into 3.14 into sigma square, that is 3.2 into 10 raised to power minus 10 whole square, multiplied by 2.69 into 10 raised to power 25, and calculating all these terms, we get this as 1 upon 122.32 into 10 raised to power minus 5, which comes out to be equal to 0.008175 into 10 raised to power minus 5 meter. So in this way we can calculate the value of mean free path for nitrogen molecules. And let us see the next question. In this question we are trying to find out the coefficient of viscosity of nitrogen at NTP. To find the coefficient of viscosity of nitrogen and NTP, we are given this rho, that is 1.25 kg per meter cube, and C is 454.4 meter per second, and the value of lambda is given to you. We have seen that this is related by the formula 3 eta upon rho into C. Therefore the coefficient of viscosity eta will be equal to lambda into rho into C divided by 3. You can put up the values. It is 9.44 into 10 raised to power minus 8 multiplied by the density is 1.25 into the speed is 454.4, this whole divided by 3. It can be calculated easily. It is 1787 into 10 raised to power minus 8 Newton per meter square per unit velocity gradient. So in this way we can find the value of coefficient of viscosity. So you can further take examples which are given in the textbook and try to calculate them. That is all for today.